All right, a new study shows that children with ADHD should be allowed to fidget because it helps them learn. This means toe tapping, leg swinging and bouncing on Swiss balls while doing a task will help them focus on the task. Clinical psychologist Dr. Sarah Watson is our ADHD expert and joins us now. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning.
Because a lot of people would think if you were doing that, the opposite was true, and actually you weren't concentrating, it would distract you.
It doesn't actually distract you because it helps you be able to kind of keep your concentration much better than if you were not able to.
Is this true of everyone really, although it's particularly useful for people with ADHD?
No, it's only useful for those with ADHD. The reason for that is because it affects the executive functioning, and part of that is what's called working memory, and that's the part that's compromised in ADHD.
And we know this for a fact now after studies, do we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even although you don't suffer from ADHD, we have put you on a Swiss ball just because we could.
You have put me on a Swiss ball.
Yes. So what are we talking about? One of the issues here is, of course, it might be good for the person with ADHD, but maybe it's not so useful for the other people around them. It could be more of a distraction there. But is that just something you have to work in?
Well, actually, you know what? It's been used a lot in the classrooms already. So the Swiss ball, also there are some other tools, sensory
which are easily,
tools.
You can get them easily, can you?
Yes, you can.
What sort of things are we talking about?
So we're talking about like wobble cushions. That's one thing. It's a cushion you can put on a chair or you can put it on the mat, like in the classroom, for example. Then there's particular stools where you can, I think there's one that's being demonstrated here, where you can kind of move and wobble and things like that. So what it does is it means that you're able to restrict the amount that a child can move. So it's less kind of distracting for others. It doesn't really...
So it's containing the child in an entertaining way.
Yeah. But also allowing that child, who's not necessarily the same as other children, to be able to function in the best way possible.
How big a difference can it make? Because people will know if they have children with ADHD or people in general with ADHD, it's this inability to concentrate, which is probably the biggest problem. How big a difference can something like this make?
Well, the research is showing that it can make quite a big difference, actually, only for those with ADHD, though. And we think that how that works is because that being able to move is not only something that kind of is difficult to control in ADHD, but also maybe a compensatory strategy.
Right.
So that's what the research is saying, is that it's actually helping to be able to move.
And is this sort of very new? Is this knowledge very new for people who have children with ADHD? Might there be some who are listening to us now, watching us now, that don't know this?
I think they probably know it. They probably know that being able for the kids to be able to move around and wriggle and wiggle while they're doing their homework, that tends to help.
So it's certainly a matter of them being perhaps a little insistent in some cases at school that their children be allowed to do this, that it be accommodated. Now, you have a test. Is this a test to test whether I am susceptible or something? Or?
No, not at all. What it is, though, is
can people do this at home?
They can do this at home, for sure.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
So what this is a very short test about working memory, which is the particular area...
Should we do it on Jim? Because he looks a bit iffy to me.
Why Jim? Why Jim, are you not up for the challenge?
All right, we'll do it both together, me and Jim. Okay, go.
Let's go.
So, keeping in mind
has to be real quick.
Okay, working memory is the ability to keep things in mind.
Good.
So I'm going to say some numbers and some letters. I want you to repeat them back to me. Numbers in numerical order, letters in alphabetical order.
Okay, go.
Numbers first. 4, Z, H, 8, 3, I.
3, 4, 8. H, I, Z.
Was that right?
Correct.
Fantastic. That is fantastic, Jim. Okay. I wish I had time to do it as well, but sadly, Sarah, we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Do you know what happened then? I just actually gave up even trying. I heard the task and I thought, I just can't be bothered. Isn't that? It's just me all over. That's why I haven't achieved anything in life.